All right, we're gonna start streaming. We can do this. They won't. They won't kick us off stream for this.
No.
They'll kick us off stream for many other things, which
we're about to.
Which we're probably about to talk about.
Oh no, I'm watching. I see on the right screen who you have on.
Talking to the mic now. Talking to the mic. Don't be shy.
Who you have on the other screen.
Yes, and did you see the name of the stream?
No.
Beating Autism 101 Meme Workshop. I'm trying to create a meme or something. I don't know what I'm trying to do.
So how would a meme workshop defeat your autism?
That's not the point. I'm saying we're workshopping this meme.
Oh, hi.
We're workshopping this meme. And so my first idea was, and it's funny that you brought up, you're like, don't we have a we here? Mm-hmm. That was your autism coming out. And I don't mean real autism.
Yeah, it's gamer video game induced autism.
Yes, this is exactly what I'm talking about. And this is it right here. This is the epitome of it. Boom.
We aren't the ones that have made this up. But it does exist.
What, beating autism?
No, video game induced autism.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't make that up at all. I'm just trying to figure out that's my interpretation of autism nowadays.
Do you even know who Cosmo is?
Very autistic.
What made you bring this particular image up?
Because it's a speed run. And talking to the mic, bro.
Because it's a speed run.
I'm way louder than you.
Okay, all right.
Dude,
this Cosmo guy...
Now you're crunching over, man. Let's get that thing up to your mouth.
I will scoot up.
He's got a long neck. He's got a really big mouth, too. You
got to know a thing or two about Cosmo. That'd be a whole half hour about Cosmo, but we don't need to go down
and
that
his autism?
rabbit hole. His mental problems... At the very least, he goes. Some people might take offense at what I just identified as mental problems. I do think he's mentally ill, and I think he's got some serious issues.
Is he gay?
You could say that.
He is, huh? See, I was
no.
Just
it's
joking.
not. It's not gay, but something perhaps maybe a step further. What he's become.
Sucking your brother's dick?
No.
See, this is not the point of this stream right now. I wasn't going to try to go into fucking mental illness and shit, Austin. I was just purely going into what the beating autism starter kit would be. How to beat autism starter kit.
One particular mental illness that is shallow and has
made up.
It has a bunch of different definitions. No, I think it exists.
No. I don't mean that. I mean video game induced autism. You really think that's a thing?
I do think that it can lead to autistic symptoms. It can lead to thinking, like having lack of social ability, lack of that in particular, lack of social skills. It'll contribute to it, make you come across as an autist.
Yeah, kind of like this stream. All right, so number 2, Tetris. I know, video game induced autism victims love Tetris, just like you. No, I'm good. Like you, Austin, you loved it. You loved Tetris.
I did like Tetris, yeah, but that's. But
we'd have to
let's
wake
get a definition of autism. Let's get a different, not so that we can actually fact check, but I want to see.
There's
all the symptoms. We got to get all the.
Hold on, there's so many good. All
There's got to be something about putting blocks together.
And it has a fucking
disorder. Oh yeah, that's a puzzle piece. Is the symbol for it, dude. And a lot of the time, it's a rainbow puzzle piece. Refers to a broad range of conditions characterized by challenges with social skills. So that's the first one. Repetitive behaviors. Oh no, speech and nonverbal communication. According to the Centers for Disease Control, autism affects an estimated 1 in 59 children in the United States today.
3 main symptoms of autism: attention deficit disorder.
People with
which very much describes how the stream has gone so far. Tourette's syndrome or other tic disorders. Interesting. Epilepsy. Haven't heard that. Dyspraxia. I totally know what that is. Google.
Right click and then
generalized anxiety disorder, depression. So everyone in Portland has autism.
An entire society of autists. Developmental coordination disorder, also known as dyspraxia, is the condition affecting physical coordination that causes a child to perform less well than expected in daily activities for his or her age and appear to move clumsily. Oh no, Garrett. Uh-oh.
Being a closer and closer.
Are you a klutz? You autistic fuck.
That's hard, man. That's some hard shit right there. So here we go. Here's my next one.
Oh. What?
Beating autism, dude. Are you kidding me? Spend some time in Animal Crossing. That'll get them in the whole like hanging out with, you know.
Oh, so this is how you beat it. Yeah,
creatures.
exactly. So they would then just, this is what if you try and treat someone with autism with Animal Crossing, they would just treat every relationship as transactional. Like, do you have any lost items you want me to go get back? Do you have like a bike that you loaned a friend?
They're not sociopaths.
Nah, that's true. But I mean, like, it actually would be good habits of just
it's
like,
because they're little cute animals rather than actual humans.
It'd make them a furry.
Be like,
I think this would make them furries. This is a furry creating game.
That's an interesting point. All right, so this one I just threw in there because it's funny. Just anti-vax because they say it causes autism. Slash poll.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, you know that NRAL, that octopus one is the original one. It's apparently on a rocket out in space right now, if you believe in that. But
Nope.
That is on a rocket apparently going out.
Look at the flat Earth one. That is hilarious.
That's much
they
better.
would.
That is much better.
That is so funny. And then of course,
the Pepe the Frog and being and this. I think that Apu is more autistic than this one.
I don't know who that is.
Apu Helper is the like retarded looking Pepe. Do Apu or
How do you spell that, bro?
Just APU. If you just it's
Oh,
that
yeah,
one. So
yeah.
the middle, that second picture right there.
This
that
one?
sums it up. Yep. It says he has
The
be
helper.
patient. Yeah, the be patient. I have autism hat is what he has, and so Pepe's responsible for this little guy. I think he represents some sort of innocence or ignorance. He just wants to help people. Like he got started on Finnish image boards talking about, hey, you should stay hydrated, and just show a picture of him holding water.
Finnish.
Yes, an actual like Finn.
Dude, some of these are so abstract. Like what?
See, a lot of the times he's crying and he's just dumb. I think it represents sort of childish. There's the plebe. It's
that's so funny, dude.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's the be patient hat. The be patient hat is referencing please be patient. I have autism. It's a very fun. We should have these hats. We should.
Here's my next one.
The autistic Chad doesn't have sex with women because they're all whores. Doesn't jerk off.
Speak up. Speak up.
Always irritable. Tight jeans are for faggots. Wears tight Hollister shirt, and fitted jeans. Based. Still follows Ben Shapiro. Liberal cucks. Do you even drink protein? Buys any supplement that ends with "ine" or "ibol." I don't get some of these.
God, dude, I thought you
this
fucking.
is an autistic Chad, but I think a lot of the time is that there's the virgin autist versus the Chad Down syndrome. Search that one up. That one's,
okay. That's high level.
I think
what was it? What was it?
Virgin autism versus Chad Down syndrome.
Chad.
There it finished.
Oh, cool. I have to look at the keyboard when I type.
There's different versions. Doesn't make eye contact. The virgin autism drones on about bullshit that no one cares about. That hurts. That's going to hurt a lot of our fan. Short temper. Gotta go fast. Everyone thinks he's creepy. No sense of style. Listens to video game soundtracks. Ooh, send that to the Coopers.
Yeah.
And then the
Chad Down syndrome. Unique facial aesthetics. That's funny, like the tiny eyes and the giant jaw or something.
No, it is horrible.
Loved by all. Uses bathroom wherever he wants, like a boss. Bold fashion sense. See, this is too wholesome. I'm trying to be deep references here. Deep references. I'm not trying to be surface level internet bullshit right now. Because there's a setup here, Austin. There's a setup. Okay.
This seems like an unfinished template, but it makes.
Oh, it totally is. I just I got some template offline and
you
cropped it. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm making this very specifically, kind of like Jake.
Oh, okay.
Our buddy. Or just just really grasping for irony in that, based, but also still follows Ben Shapiro.
Well, that's not that's something. This just sounds like the average 4chan President Trump general user.
Well, there you go then.
But it also sounds like
fits.
It's also it's kind of just a poll 4chan user that's also into getting fit, or what is it called? Self-improvement general guys.
Damn, I'm sorry. I thought this one was good. Tight jeans or faggots. Wears Hollister shirt and fitted jeans.
Who's that? Is that actually what Jake does?
Jake, yeah.
Jake does. He wears a
He's like always pulling down his shirt too.
Exactly.
He like does what the fat kids do, but he's like he fucking power lifts, so it has nothing to do with that.
Jeans, which are
very tight, very tight. So that was my best attempt at a meme.
Well done, Gary.
I tried.
I like where you're going with it.
I don't know deep internet references like you. That's why I was trying to make a workshop.
That's what I'm trying to workshop. I think this is the thing about the Virgin versus Chad meme that people misunderstand is that the guy that you're supposed to identify as, and that's supposed to be the person that's correct if you believe.
This is an unbiased meme, Austin. I'm not trying to be biased here.
Well, no. I'm just saying that there's supposed to be an irony that whatever you put on the right side is actually the thing you don't want to be, and that the thing on the left side is actually the thing that you like. So if you like, it's like if you were a Republican making a Republican versus Democrat, like you'd make the Democrat Chad, right?
Okay.
That's the point of the Virgin versus Chad memes, that the thing that you dislike is the Chad version.
Yeah,
and you kind of do a counter argument and make them kind of sound stupid.
Why is Chad the fucking target?
Chad just means that he wins. There's also a good Virgin versus Chad comparison meme is good because the Chad normally wins. Like the Chad Skyrim versus the Virgin Morrowind. Like the Chad Skyrim, it's kind of retarded.
But see, that actually makes sense because those games are very. You could kind of like pull that interpretation out of them. Where Skyrim is very surface level, Morrowind is like you got to sit there and read shit and think about shit.
Exactly. So it's actually Google the.
You know what I was thinking about those games? I think. You know, there's like songs that get stuck in your head where you're like, "That's a fucking dope song. I need to go listen to that."
Yeah.
That's the music in those games are better. The earlier games, the earlier Elder Scrolls games, the music alone makes me like it gives you a feeling of adventure, or it invokes some sort of emotion, so it makes you want to come back to it. But a lot of time I'll find myself just wandering around the world, doing nothing, just listening to the music and looking at shit because obviously the graphics are so updated and nice.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. Are you saying that? But like, you really only played Oblivion as opposed to Skyrim, so you're basically making an argument that Oblivion.
No, I played 100 hours of Skyrim.
Okay, no, yeah, but you did play 100. Yeah, you did play enough.
And nothing stuck with me.
No, their music is a little bit boring. I mean, I could remember the battle music when it goes into that, but I'm gonna go ahead and hit these.
You want me to hit that?
Yeah.
All right, fine.
But
what do you mean? This is illegal.
What else?
Tobacco.
But Morrowind's soundtrack's kind of boring. It does a good way of setting the tone, and it's actually pleasurable to kind of like just be playing it, and it's got that weird sort of.
Okay, well maybe I just mean Oblivion because I played it the most.
Yeah, Oblivion had some.
And I liked it the most. Yeah, it has some fire though.
Exactly.
And just video games in general. Video games with good music are gonna make you want to play them again.
It's true. That's a V meme or like that people I've seen talk about that where they're just like, what's more important in a video game, and they put like. Music number 1, gameplay number 2, graphics number 3.
Yes,
or it's stories in there, but like graphics are number 4, and then there's arguments as opposed to like whether they're ironically put music as number 1 instead of gameplay, but it's really important. Music's probably sometimes more important than.
I don't think you need to label the amount of importance of each one because each one has to be amazing. What do you mean? There's no focus.
I don't know.
If they have 100 fucking person crew, they can focus on everything. They have the money for it.
But I think, for instance, like Minecraft, like when you put the graphics as like something that's shitty or put it down, or even 7 Days to Die, if you just say, hey, graphics can kind of take a back seat on this because we're focusing on gameplay, like that is more important.
Well, when you have a 3-person team on an independent developed game.
Well, yeah. So
but
that's
if you
that's
have
what creates.
Grand Theft Auto, Grand Theft Auto has an awesome soundtrack.
But you're right that all these things are the things that need to be good. But it's still worth ranking them as importance and discussing what's the most important thing. Like because I do think music is sometimes.
Well, it's regardless what rank they are because music is important. That's the obvious thing. What do you mean? You don't have to rank it. No,
but it's more important than graphics. Like a game with shitty music ruins it. A good graphic game, but a good.
Epic soundtrack can make a shit game good.
Like Tetris doesn't need good graphics. The music is good enough. You can deal with the bad graphics, but bad music, it gets muted.
I see what you're saying. Well, graphics already is very low on the fun part of actual gaming. Mm-hmm. I wanted to bring up The Lost Hog. Have you heard this? 6 weeks into the wild, like a pig.
Yeah.
6 weeks into the wild of eating
whatever the fuck
rodents.
comes
I don't
across.
fucking know
Whatever
what the fuck
they're
they eat.
snuffling around looking for.
They will start changing color and they'll grow hair.
I've heard of this, yes.
So, think about it. Humans. If you start eating elk or something or like wild shit, would you start changing? Grow some chest hair?
Yeah, and it's arguable that
Change
what we
color
feed,
of your skin.
What we feed pigs in their farms is arguably at the same level of what we eat. All right, in our U.S. society, like with the McDonald's and all the corn.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, I'm like, but we still kind of eat better food than the pigs. But it's like, still just.
Well, no, I'm sure there's
corn.
some farmers that need to give them very nutritious food.
Yeah,
Depends.
But do the pigs in the captivity like change? Is it the mental anguich of?
That's what I'm saying. I
being
honestly don't
outside?
even believe that. I don't believe that
see
6
some
weeks.
pictures. I want to see that. I want to see
All
a
right.
pig changes shape.
Pig changes
I don't know,
shape
pig
after
changes-
6 weeks.
or
Pigs.
change after being in the wild.
All right, we'll see. Domestic pigs quickly revert to wild roots. All right. Feral swine.
Feral.
Let's see here. I feel like I'd have to skim through this to really...
Oh, they'll eat anything they can fit in their mouths. They'll scavenge off deer carcasses, raid birds' nests, eat amphibians. And we're now getting lots of reports of fawns being killed, says Brown. They'll go after bird feeders, cat food, dog food, uncovered garbage.
But this isn't showing us the change physically.
No. Abdupe images.
They're so funny. Let's see a before and after, though, because I haven't seen that. But, I mean, I guess if you're feeding them... Think about it. If you're feeding them a really just disgusting diet that's purely for, this is hilarious. So stupid. I can't even look at that. I'm going to have to go back to images. I'm sorry. Can't even this is embarrassing. Come on.
Give me it.
Okay. So I guess if you're feeding something a really fatty diet and filled with antibiotics and shit, and then you put them in the wild and they have none of that, think about it.
Yeah, but and then they need to... I wonder if it's a... like physiological change just because out of the mental stress, like they're just like I'm like free now and I've got to go like look for stuff,
and then changes happen to their body after they have some sort of mental stress or something.
Exactly. Maybe being inside of a pen it's like relaxing, or like they go into infantile zone and they like never really need to mature, and like if they were wild feral hogs like this.
Yeah, they would need more fur or something to survive the winter, so their body would naturally
just do that.
Yeah.
It's very much like how male orangutans, if you ever see like an orangutan, some of them have like this giant head and their cheeks expand. Like go search a male orangutan.
Okay, I'm gonna put this up then.
Orangutan. And
I don't even know how to spell that, bro.
I think it's sound outable.
What?
You can sound it out. Orangutan. I don't. Is it orangutan? Or
all right, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Type it out, bro.
Fucking.
Male. Yeah, you got it, bro. You got it.
Yeah. Okay. So you got to see them phalanges. That he just grows those when he's the alpha in the squad. Like once he becomes the alpha male of his little domain,
he gets that gullet gun.
Yeah, he gets the gullet. And scroll down a little bit, you can see a dude without this beta. That beta bitch.
Okay.
And when they get that, and so it's like, does he think, oh, I'm the male, I got to grow these things out, or it just kind of happens? There's just chemical things that happen.
He's just nutting so much orangutan puss that he just fucking grows some flaps himself on his head. See, I have a point here though.
Okay.
We're like the domesticated pig.
Yeah, no, I see where you're going with that.
So our diet and everything makes us a certain way.
Yeah, and I do think that there are differences. But the reason why I brought this guy up is because I think it's a contrast. The animals kind of contrast humans in how radically they change. But I think that the way humans change is behavior, not necessarily we grow fur or not, or we do this and that. I think that we just
So you're saying
we'll wear different clothes.
So you're pretty much shitting on my dream is that if I throw myself out in the wild, I might get some facial hair.
I'm sorry to say, but maybe. Hey, no, it's worth a try.
If I start eating raw fish out of creeks and shit, and picking bugs out of my head and eating them, you don't think I'd? No.
Wait a minute, hold on. Look at the Fu Manchu on this picture.
What the fuck?
I'm looking at the screen this way. This picture.
Oh, this one.
Guy, yeah.
Fucking. I don't know what's time. Here, this one.
No, the guy to the right. That guy's Fu Manchu. It just is very funny to me.
What even am I looking at? What am I actually looking at? Is that what your butthole
when he
looks
opens
like?
up his mouth, his eyes get covered. Like, what the fuck?
That is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Those nostrils too. Those are really big, flat, open nostrils. All right, so part of my reason why I say that is Gavin McGinnis and Owen Benjamin were talking about pillow boys and how birth control affects women. Mm-hmm. So it basically gives you the hormones that makes you think that you're in the first trimester of pregnancy. And I can only imagine, or I don't fucking know, I'm no psychologist, but what that does to basically getting the hormones of being pregnant, but not actually being pregnant. And basically I know a lot of girls who get like hardcore anxiety once they go on birth control. And that's why they're like so anti any chemicals in your body changing hormones or anything, because they realize it fucks with their head.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine all the different kinds of birth control and how that's affecting different people. Like, how doesn't like an IUD versus like hormones versus like a shot or something? And I don't know if they've done any studies on that, but okay, yeah, they probably have
for sure.
And then how that is kind of similar to the pig in a pen versus the wild boar.
Okay.
Not like, just men, but women as well.
I know that there's like a truth of like, there's at least one study where I think it must have been multiple. Anyways, that women change their preference of men depending on when they're pregnant or not.
Exactly. So they look for pillow boys when they're on birth control because they think they're pregnant and they need to look for more nurturing
guy that'll be there.
Yeah.
But when they're off, they're looking for giant bear men.
Yes, yes, and that's why a fucking pink pig like me, a pen pig.
Yes, we were natural born pen pigs. Yes,
those can be seen as more attractive then.
It's our heyday. It's easy to go around, and because we can't grow facial hair, we're basically just still hairless pig. Pig pens? Yeah,
we're pen pigs. That's what I'm saying. I have a lot of random shit on here, like Michael Jackson. When you start listening to his songs, you now start kind of like thinking, ooh, with the context of touching little boys, like PYT.
Yeah, pretty young thing.
You look at those lyrics. I'm sorry.
Pretty young things. Repeat after me. Say na 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 na, and they don't. And so it's implied that it's supposed to be. It's Have you ever listened to, of course, the Never Gonna Give, that song, right? He's gay.
Okay, he says lady in here. He says lady. Oh, okay. So that's a good sign. Okay.
And ooh, won't you take me there? He got away with saying tenderoni in lyrics. I can't believe he got away with saying that.
What the fuck?
Tenderoni got to be.
What the fuck does that mean? What's a tenderoni?
I don't think it made any. It's Castle's Dictionary of Slang, which defines tenderoni as a sweet young girl.
Okay.
Oh, dates the word to the 1980s, attributing it to black teenagers in the United States. I think it could have been just slang that was in. It's like saying shizzle.
It did. That sounds like a food or some shit.
Yeah, no, it does. What?
Tenderoni is an easy-to-make stovetop macaroni product trademarked and produced by Stokely Van Camp Food Company.
Since its withdrawal from the U.S. market, the name has evolved into an urban slang term for younger love interest of either gender, or someone too young to talk or become involved with.
Whoa! Woo!
Ooh, we're doing...
Wait a second.
The food product, we don't care about the food product, but it's enjoyed by children. The product was named tenderoni because it was cooked quickly and was tender enough without being starchy.
Oh, no shit.
And so, because the product
tenderoni,
it was matured quick.
Thing.
It was inexpensive to make and sell. But then the dictionary, a sweet young girl dates to the 1980s, attributing it to the black teenager in the United States. The word gained renewed attention when Bobby Brown used it in his 1988 hit Roni to describe a young, beautiful girl. Only tenderonis can give you a special love, a special kind of love that makes you feel good.
No one can say tenderoni in a song nowadays.
No.
Instant creep. Instant obvious.
No, and it also
shit.
just sounds dumb. It sounds really dumb.
Only Michael Jackson could get away with that shit, just like I don't know if he got away with anything, allegedly. Spark my nature, sugar fly with me. Don't you know now is the perfect time we can make it right. All right, I'm going to go back to looking for some creepy things here. Or just taking a look at this. See, the whole tender thing is creeping me out. The whole pretty young thing, I love you. It's
tender
just,
love and care is
when I heard
a
it
saying.
again.
It's TLC.
Okay. Whatever. I don't say
PYT, TLC. It's clever. It is clever in the chorus.
All right.
Nothing can stop this burning desire to be with you. Gotta be with you, baby.
Okay. Well,
but it starts becoming. We're reading into it. I think that he puts lady in the beginning. Whoever told him to do that.
Regardless, the tenderoni thing is pretty fucking weird. But I also didn't live in that era.
Yeah.
So I have no real idea of how it was actually used then. Because when I look at it now, that's fucking creepy and obvious. And this is pretty weird and creepy and obvious. But
what else does he?
Dude, there was another one that was.
Not alone.
What is it? I mean, Billie Jean, but I feel like I feel like it is grasping. This one was definitely weird to me.
Yeah, it was weird.
The blatant. But that's a thing, though.
We're also looking at
younger
young,
girls.
Because it's 18, 19, 20,
Yeah,
21.
Yeah, exactly.
That's still young.
But like, what did the tenderoni thing say? Someone too young to talk to or be involved with.
Yeah, but why did they say that? And if you find a tenderoni, that's from me.
I mean, that makes sense for 18-year-old girls. No fucking mid-20s guy should be fucking with an 18-year-old. That still can come across as weird and not okay to be involved with.
Look at these other songs, though. There's the OJs. The OJs from 1975. Let's listen to the OJ.
No.
Eddie Kendrick's Sweet Tenderoni in 1976. And then it got...
So the real question is, when was it all of a sudden not okay to...
I gotta answer my phone.
All right, well, we have been going for 30 minutes, so we'll call it, unless you want to...
I mean, good.
He's probably going to record his cell phone conversation over this microphone. This is what he doesn't
talking
understand.
right over my cell phone conversation. Excuse me, we were doing a podcast. I'm sorry.
He's going to record his cell phone conversation on the podcast. All right, well, okay, so I'm going to go down here so you guys see what we were looking at. Yeah, apparently that was a much more common thing than it is nowadays, but okay, it was used in a Tyler, the Creator song. All right, we'll call this. It's been a half hour. Peace.